Say it again?
What's up with the ice cream?
We just thought we'd throw him a bone. You know, when you was little, when ice cream man comes, ice cream truck, you hear the bell, you lose your mind. I want our guys to lose their mind for a split second. Most of them did. Coach Minner just would not allow the defense to lose their mind. So, but it's just, you know, they're working hard. They really are working really hard and some extreme heat, and we just thought we'd throw them a bone today. So, really good practice. Really excited about this running back depth and competition. I've always said you make a team better by additions. Additions. My favorite. Okay, the big dip. This is not what we Big Dipper. We didn't have this when I was little. But you make yourself better by additions and player development. Obviously, our running backs have improved over the off season, and we got some good additions to the program also that bring depth and competition to the position.
How are you splitting reps with that right now? With how many guys that are in that competition?
We got. I mean, it's 5 guys that has to get reps because we got to get them prepared for Saturday. Especially the young guys ready to be able to compete on Saturday. So some of the older guys, 3 guys are working the 1 reps, allowing 2 guys to work some of the 2s and some of the 3 reps. Okay, so we'd like to get those guys a little bit more reps than the other 3 guys. They've been here for 3 and 4 years. Therefore, they should know what to do. We know what they can do. We got to make sure that these young guys know what they're doing on Saturday so they can compete.
Is anyone pulling ahead in that race at all?
No, I mean it's just kind of wadded up right now with those top 3 guys. Obviously, she finished the season last year as the #1 guy, so he's the first guy going in. The thing that I'm most proud of is their attitude, especially those top 3 guys, with Sheik, John, and Raymond. I mean, those guys have taken a lot of ownership on our special teams. Going to Coach Norton and saying, hey, we want to be a part of this. We want to be a part of this team. We want to be a part of that team. Coach, make sure you got us 3 on there for sure. Those are the things that, being that you very seldom see starting backs, and all 3 of those guys have started sometime or another in their career. You very seldom see starting backs with that type of attitude. And that will just rub off on those young guys. This type of attitude we have to have in that whole, not just that position, but every position.
Is there a possibility that Clemens? Sorry.
Say it again.
Josh Clemens could redshirt, or is that all?
No, I mean he's in the mix too. He just wasn't there today, but when he gets out here every other day, and today's an off day for him, so he can be ready to go. Actually, he got a little reps today. Tomorrow will be an off day for him, and then. Lost. What's today? Tomorrow he'll get reps. Tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, so he'll get reps tomorrow, take off on Friday to get himself ready to go compete also. But he's in the mix also. There's no question about that. These guys started for us the 3 or 4 games last year, so he's along with those guys.
Would you rather have 1 guy step up, or could you see a running back by committee situation?
Definitely by committee. They're all good enough to play. Okay, if they're good enough to play, all of them good enough to win with also. We've won a lot of some games with all 3 of those guys, all 4 of those guys being at tailback for us. So they're all good enough to play. We'll have to play them.
What are you looking for from the 2 freshmen at this point in time?
Say it again?
From the 2 freshman running backs, what are you looking for?
I mean, just consistency and doing what they need to do. Both guys are big, physical guys that can move the pile. When's the last time you've seen us move the pile? In a long time. Those guys can move the pile. So
is that what you're seeing?
That's why I say we got a competition. We got deep depth at that position also.
Look, I can remember when Rick first got here. He said, when you're out here in full pads, it ought to sound like you're out here in full pads. You were for the first time today. Did it sound like you were in full pads?
It did. I mean, and sounding like full pads and understanding how to practice, stand off the ground, those type of things, what we call bud practice, wrapping the guy up. Avery Wilson is a perfect example of that. Got plays behind his pads, and again, all of that equals balance. You got to have balance, which means your weight up underneath you, heads up, and being in a striking position. So if you're in a striking position, you come out of your hips, you usually sound like you're playing you're in full pad. So it's a beautiful sound, though.
Matt Smith said at the end of the 40-yard dash, if you had a
Who is this?
Matt Smith at the end of the 40. He said if the ice cream truck was at the end of the 40, he could do it in 2 seconds. But I think it's pretty accurate.
Maybe we need to put an ice cream truck at the end of the goal line there, right, for him. But this is a little treat for the guys. Again, they've been working really extremely hard. This is our 5th practice. Working them to late night. We just want to go on bone.
The offense look a little better today because they got the ice cream first.
You know,
the defense is out there running. Looks like.
You usually look better when you throw and catching the ball. Right? We threw and caught the ball a lot better today. So many times you're doing that stuff, and we had the ball on the ground one time when the running back was trying to. He stopped running. The young running back stopped running, and getting ready to run back to the huddle. One of the defensive guys punches it out. Okay. Still, if you get the ball in your hand, you got to carry it like it's the most prized possession. He wasn't carrying it, so we only had 1 turnover today, one ball on the ground, and we threw and caught the ball. So you look a little bit better on offense when that happens.
Folks, we need to get to our